Howdy everyone, Runt9 here, and welcome to Runt9 Looks at Kyvir Rebirth. Kyvir Rebirth is a roguelike deck builder from Don Blaze Entertainment. Adrian, a big follower of the stream, we're live right now on Twitch, so he's actually watching as we speak, recommended this game to me yesterday, I believe it was, on stream, and I went and looked it up. It looked like a ton of fun and definitely right up my alley, and so I knew I needed to take a look at it, and since I decided to start making some Runt9 Looks at videos for YouTube again, I knew this would fit right into the bill. So I know very little about the game, as these are usually blind playthroughs, so we're gonna do a little bit of live tutorialization and figuring things out as we go. Not a huge settings menu. Profile, I'm sure, is, you know, some stuff. Help. Yeah, there's a combat tutorial, and that, as far as I can tell, that's the only tutorial. So let's do the combat guide, and let's figure this out. Dual deck combat. Your cards consist of a main hand deck and an offhand deck. These two decks are each unique. Smart usage of both will be crucial to successful combat. Playing cards costs jewels. They'll just be called energy because that's what I call them in all roguelike deck builders by default. Will be recovered at the start of your next turn. Drag the cards from your hand to play to put them into play. So we have a shoot. Shoot one arrow, deal 4 weapon damage. Cool, easy enough. It does say action points at the top of the tooltip. Okay, so they're action points. Makes sense. Drag and play take cover to defend against the incoming attack. On your turn, you can see the enemy's intent. Unlike most card games, you must actively choose when you want to redraw during combat. Oh. Redraw can only be used once per turn. It will place all the current cards from your main hand and offhand into the discard piles, then draw to fill them from their respective draw piles. Immediately, that is one take on the genre that already interests me from a strategic perspective of when is the right time to redraw. So we've got 2 damage incoming. Take cover is 2 stacks of defense. So gain some defense, but then also just kill you. Up next are skills. You now have a skill you can use. Drag it up to the player to use your skill. Using a skill requires you to discard the corresponding cards from your hand in addition to spending action points. Different skills will require you having different cards in your hand. Defensive stance. So what does this do? Charged shot. Shoot 1 arrow, deal 3 times weapon damage. Takes 2 energy, 1 arrow, and main hand shoot. Okay. That's an interesting take. And then we have another shoot we can do with our energy. We don't have any take cover cards, so we end turn. Although I guess we could have redrawn there. Oh, we didn't need to take cover because they were taking cover. So they are buffing themselves. So we'll obviously just shoot and kill. Next is a real combat. So we have pick arrows. That gains us 3 arrows. So we've got weapon damage, and then I'm assuming these 5 arrows down here is our current ammunition. Shoot 1 arrow, deal weapon damage to all enemies. Costs 2 action points. Take cover gives us 2 stacks of guard. So we have 10 damage incoming. We have 50 HP, and we have 3 action points per turn. I think arrows are next action points. You are correct. Every shot costs 1 arrow. Okay, makes sense. So here, I feel like we should just block some damage and maybe even redraw and block again. I mean, we're still going to take 4 damage here. How did we... Gotta run, man. Good luck for the rest of the stream. All right, dude. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. And I'll catch you later, man. Reduce the attack damage by the stack of the buff. Oh, okay. I was like, why didn't it wear off? So it's not like armor in other games. It doesn't deplete as you get hit. It is flat damage reduction for the next turn. Okay, so in this case, we'll take cover twice, we'll take no damage, and then we'll just shoot you. Easy enough. Also a slightly different way to do things. We will probably want to redraw on this one. So if we only do one take cover, we'll take 4 damage. I think I'm fine with that, so we can actually get a scatter shot out there. Alright, they are both buffing, so why don't we go for the kill there? Probably redraw, and then just shoot. Already interested. Already interested. It's got exactly the core styles of mechanics that you want from a roguelike deck builder, with some added flair on top. Completed the tutorial. If you wish to review the content, you can replay the combat tutorial. You may pick different characters to play as in your adventures. Each character has a unique set of features that allows for distinctive combat styles. And so I will, iterate this, that it is an early access game. When you first load the game, it does mention that it's early access. There's some localization, potentially some bugs, and, obviously more content that they want to add in the future, which, you guys are probably used to at this point on the channel. So there's attributes and equipment, cards. We could probably read all of this, but why don't we just jump in and see what happens? So there's Archer, Paladin, coming soon. Tome of Prophecy, delve deep into the dungeon to unlock, so you get the default deck. Gain 1 faith whenever you play a card. Refill 1 arrow at the start of turn. Well, you know what? Let's play the Archer, because that's the one that we just played in the tutorial, and we do already know how to play. Rebirth. Explore the dungeon. Uncover the tiles to locate portals. I'm assuming that's portal. Oh, aside from the portal, each dungeon tile may hide monsters, treasures, events, shops, etc. These may be beneficial or detrimental. Your adventurer's equipment determines the various attributes of your character. Helmet determines the max number of skills you can prepare. Gloves determine how many cards you draw to fill your hands when you redraw. Boots determine how many action points you have at the start of each turn. Armor determines how many armor points you have at the beginning of combat. So 3 skill, 4 draw, 4 weapon damage, 3 AP recovery, 10 arrow capacity, 1 armor, nothing special. Okay, so we just click on a tile and see what we get. Training ground, desolate training ground. You only saw some birds hovering above here, not knowing where they came from. So we can get a skill, lose 5 health, get a card, lose 5 health, aim, shoot at the bullseye, stamina, max health plus 5. I loves me some max health, but we're learning right now. So also let's go ahead and push the camera all the way over to the right. See how that goes. Let's go for a skill. Enhance the first 3 arrows into Jagged Arrow. Jagged Arrow additionally applies 2 stacks of bleed to the enemy. Bleed is at the start of each turn, lose 1 health for each stack, then minus 1 stack, so it's essentially Slay the Spire poison. Easy enough. Give me a tile. So this should be a monster encounter. Alright, we've got 4 damage each. What skills do we have? So we've got Fire Arrow. 3 arrows into a Fire Arrow. Fire Arrow deals an extra 3 fixed damage. Damage will not be affected by the attacker's effects. Deals an additional 3 fixed damage, and Powered Shot also boosts the damage of Fire Arrow. You've got Behind the Shelter, which gains 6 armor. The amount of damage one can take before they lose health. So armor is armor. Guard is a new mechanic. Okay. We do not have Overwatch. We need a scatter shot and a take cover. Okay, that's kind of cool. You need to have certain cards in your hand to be able to use them. So I feel like this is where you just take cover, and shoot. Is game speed an option? It is not. Would like to speed up the animations a little bit, but that's okay. I feel like you shoot there and redraw. Time to start a spreadsheet tracking every misplay. You're gonna run Google Sheets out of memory if you try to do that. I would recommend against it. Aim. The current arrow deals double damage. Hold tight. 1 stack of empowered shot. Increase the damage of the current arrow. And then this is also boosted by empowered shot. So let's just kind of see what a combo looks like here. So we're going to hold tight. We gain empowered shot, so it adds +1 damage. Oh, okay, I understand. Okay, so it enhances the next 3 arrows, and that's what's showing that. That's a neat mechanic. That's a very neat mechanic. We have 1 action point left, so that's a kill. Cool. And then we're going to take some damage here. That's totally okay. I'm definitely interested. So give me an aim just for the sake of doing it. There's a kill. We got a throwing dagger. Deal 1 damage, apply 2 stacks of bleed. Claim all. All right. So far, so good. I do like randomly generated exploration. I mean, I don't know yet if I like it more than being able to choose your path, but... Alright, so this guy is stunned for the first turn. Wait, do you play Minesweeper in between? No, it's not Minesweeper. It's basically random tiles, and you just kind of uncover them, and whatever pops up, pops up. And you're basically looking for the final boss, or I guess the portal to the next floor, and you just run across some stuff along the way. Also, I wouldn't like the random. Feel like that will generate too much tilt later. It probably will tilt me off the face of the planet at some point. Shoot 2 arrows, deal no damage, gain 6 stacks of cover. Oh, I had called it guard a minute ago. So why don't we do... We'll go for fire shot, aim, shoot. And do 11 damage. I mean, that seems good to me while they're stunned. Seems like random would be a good modifier for like high ascension levels or something. It depends on how it's balanced. As long as the randomness is balanced in a reasonable way, then I'm not too terribly worried about it. If it feels unbalanced and like unfair, then yeah, I would definitely be concerned. 4 damage times 3. Yeah, why don't we throw an Overwatch out there? We've got enough guard to block the 4 damage. Hit me with a redraw. And why don't you hit me with a shoot? And I guess, oh, we can't do a scatter shot here. I guess we'll just take cover, not that we need to. All right. So you're stunned. I guess we'll just hold tight scatter shot because it'll do some good damage. And then I guess we'll just use that and in turn, so we gain some armor. Thus far, we haven't needed it, but I don't think it hurts to have it. Do a quick redraw, aim, fire, shoot. There you go. Easy enough. We got another throwing dagger that we have yet to see. Oh, because I don't think I've actually, like, equipped it. I've yet to see Jagged Arrow in the knife. Yeah, it's because it wasn't tutorialized, so it didn't exist to me, but I'm assuming you just swap this out for something. Yeah, we'll get rid of the armor for Jagged Arrow because this seems like it could be fun, adding some bleed stacks. And then we've got these throwing daggers that we could bring in the main hand, I would assume. But then can I just, like, take stuff out? Okay, it does seem like there is, like, a minimum you have to have. I think that was on the equipment, right? I'm not sure. I don't know that that was necessarily tutorialized. You can change various equipment, blah, blah, blah. Deck. So tell me about this. You can modify your decks at any point. Each deck must have a deck size of at least 12. Okay, so it's just a flat thing overall. You may receive communal cards during exploration. Utility cards are different from your starting cards in that you can include them in both your main hand and offhand. Oh, okay. Exhausted cards can only be used once before being permanently removed from your deck. Exhausted cards do not count towards your deck size. So if we really wanted to, we could push the throwing daggers over into our offhand. Just for the sake of, like, I have no idea on the strategy right now. I'm gonna do that and throw another hold tight in here. Because why not? And then let's take out a pick arrows, because thus far we haven't needed it. I'm sure we will later. Okay, no, this is already hitting the right buttons as far as it's got the core gameplay loop of a good roguelike deck builder, but it's got some unique twists and, you know, borrowed certain things, didn't borrow other things. Kind of like this. I feel the same way thus far. Statue of Goddess. A statue of a goddess, which is commonly seen in the shrines of the goddess. Passengers feel refreshed as they walk by. Accept the blessing. Blessing of Power. Start the next combat with 3 stacks of strength. Increase 1 attack damage for each strength. Sounds good to me, brother. I mean, I'm the type of person to want to click on every square. Whether or not that's a good idea, I have no idea. But we'll find out, right? Question mark. Shabby Vagrant. A ragged man approaches you and asks you if you are interested in the goods in his sack. Probably not. I don't think that's for me. Get an equipment, coin minus 10. Get a utility card, coin minus 10. Get a skill, coin minus 10. I'd like to look at your equipment. The equipment you have in your sack. Lighter. At the end of enemy turn, enhance the first arrow into a fire arrow. Well, in that case, what I would like to do is equip this bow, and then we're going to go back to our skills, and we're actually going to drop the fire arrow because now we get free fire arrows. So why do we need the specific skill for that? Another question mark. Skeleton somehow can still move in its jaw open and closed repetitively, making a cracking sound as if it is trying to say something, but it fails. Perhaps it is just on its way to reincarnation. Get coins and an equipment and are cursed. You got, I mean, it's a roguelike, so you got to have a deal with the devil. Obviously, I'm going to click on that. Short bow. Turn every scatter shot you drawed into shoot. Every time you play shoot, draw a main hand card. I like that. I want to try the fire arrow bow, but that's a neat one to have as well. It changes how you play a little bit. Curse of vulnerability. So 3 stacks of vulnerability plus 50% incoming damage. I would imagine that's for 3 turns. Deck cycling. It is, deck cycling is definitely a good thing to have. Shop. Oh, there's some, there are set pieces. What is this? Diablo 3? Okay. We'll come back to that. Light Quiver. Pick arrows, costs 1 less action point. At the end of each turn, Quiver is refilled to full. At the end of each combat, loot 5 extra coins, and this is part of a thief set piece. 4 pieces after each combat. If there is a utility card in the loot, get a copy of the same card. Pog MMO aspect detected. 50% off. How much is this game? What is steal? I think it was like $7 American. How much did I pay for this? It is $7.19 US dollars. Alright, so this is Gauntlets of Immortal Flame. Draw size 4. If you start turn with no main hand card, draw 3 main hand cards. That seems incredible. 2 set pieces, gain 1 Immortal Flame every time you draw a card. At the end of turn, deal 1 fixed damage to a random enemy for each stack of Immortal Flame, then the stacks are reset to 0. I love that. Immortal Flame also grants you 1 armor for each stack of this buff. Damage of Immortal Flame is now dealt to all enemies. Alright, I'm interested. If you end turn with 0 offhand card, gain 1 stack of Courage. At the start of next turn, gain 1 action point for each stack of this buff. If you end turn with 0 main hand card, gain 1 stack of Swiftness. Next skill costs no action point. This already just seems incredible. 50% off Poggers. I'm going to say that the Greaves of Immortal Flame that gives us Courage seems pretty good. Same action point recover is what we currently have equipped, but is also better in every single fathomable way. Let's equip those, and then let's get back to exploring, shall we? So, with our newfangled equipment, we pretty much want to not have anything in our offhand, which means we want to play stuff in our offhand. I feel like we should do a jagged shot, or jagged arrow, and then scatter shot. So we hit them, and now they are bleeding. We actually could have done a hold tight on there. That is okay that we didn't do that. They summoned more goblins. I'm gonna need you to not do that. Why don't we do a take cover, a hold tight, and a scatter shot? Oh, that just straight up yeeted all of them into the stratosphere. Seems good to me. Backup dagger. 0 energy for free damage. Seems good to me. We leveled up, so we get a new skill. Restore 20 health sounds great. Lock and loaded. Discard 1 offhand card, draw 2 main hand cards. That synergizes well with our boots. No covering for a battle. Redeemed, ban an in-game action. I'm telling you, we gotta not do these Twitch things on YouTube, but this one's actually kind of funny. Alright, so I cannot cover during the next battle. That's fair, and also a very good use of channel points. I'll accept that. So this synergizes really well with our boots, especially if we can't use take cover. Piercing shot. Shoot an arrow, deal weapon damage, double the effect that this arrow carries. Hunter Instinct. Gain a stack of Hunter Instinct. Apply 1 stack of bleed at every attack during Hunter Instinct. Well, we've already got some bleed synergies. I feel like that's going to be pretty good for us. Let's go figure out what are we equipping that over. I'm going to say behind the shelter. And so the shop sticks around, which is good to know. We can click on this. That is, I'm going to guess that's a boss fight. Double the effect, like double bleed. That's my guess. That I would venture to guess that's what it means. So you're doing an attack. You're doing an enhanced attack. I do not know necessarily what that means. We cannot use any cover. Well, so that also means we can't use that. We're just gonna jagged arrow, followed immediately by hold tight, followed immediately by scatter shot. And we're gonna bop them, and they're gonna bleed, and then we're gonna take some damage here. See, you had to redeem that on the boss fight, didn't you? We were made vulnerable for 1 turn. Oof. Well, obviously we will shoot, redraw. This is going to be a hold tight, aim and shoot. We've also got a throwing dagger here. So how much damage is this doing right now? We empowered it. It's got a jagged arrow coming in. It's kind of hard to see all the buffs. You need to equip that free dagger. You're right. Yeah, I did forget about that. Hunter Instinct. That drops our aim, which I think I would like to keep around for a second. So I don't actually know how much damage this is going to do. Bleed happens at the end of turn. At the start of turn, oh, then you're just dead. Because now you have 3 stacks of bleed. Then we can throwing dagger you. I'm assuming that the stack wears off at the end of turn. And we can't redraw again. So let's see, does this just last until the end of turn? Or just for the next arrow? So you died to bleed. You gained some strength, that's okay. Okay, so we are still empowered. That does carry over, good to know. We're gonna pop Hunter Instinct, and then we're gonna redraw. And then we're gonna aim, and we're gonna shoot, and we're gonna throwing dagger, and you are unfortunately not dead, so we're gonna get hit for 8 here. Yeah, as you guys can tell, I'm basically just sitting here analyzing exactly what I'm doing instead of kind of meta-analysis about the game. So that pretty much can tell you that I'm invested. I like the game thus far. It feels right up my alley. I would say both games that we've looked at today on stream are a resounding success, if you ask me. So there's your kill, and we took a large chunk of damage there, mostly because Luffy redeemed a channel points thing that banned an in-game thing. Just the type of fun that you can have if you come check out the streams over on Twitch. Shoes, those are just basic shoes. Every time you cast 3 skills in 1 turn, gain 1 action point. Oh, is that better than the boots we have now? Exhausted, double bleed of the enemy. That seems incredible. I like the boots of mobility. What's our bonus here? I actually completely forgot that existed. This one I will forget it exists as well, but helps more anyways. So let's put, honestly, just keep removing the pick arrows. I think I want to have the utility stuff in our offhand. Yeah, this seems good. Maybe, I don't know. I need to get more good game recommendations under my belt. Yeah, I mean, that's we don't have the suggestion channel on Discord anymore, but suggestions are still very much welcome. What was the 2-piece set bonus on this? Immortal Flame every time you draw a card. Oh, okay, maybe we do want that. 0 main hand card gains swiftness. No main hand card, draw 3 main hand card. I think I probably want the gauntlet more. Same draw size. Oh, this gives us another skill capacity, though. I'm kind of 50-50 with the one so far. I would say overall, your recommendations, Adrian, have been fairly solid. And I mean, it really all depends on, I would say, the motivation behind them. I think for games like Tangle Deep, it was because you liked the game and you thought I would enjoy it. Lobotomy Corporation was probably more just like, you enjoy the game and thought it would be funny to watch me attempt to play the game. More so than you thinking it's up my alley and the type of thing I would really enjoy. That's certainly not a bad thing by any means either. Ring of Pog. Monster Train holds the top, even though you would have discovered it anyways. Ryan playing it, or Northern Lion playing it, absolutely. I would have figured it out anyways, and it still would have been an incredible game for me, but I did find it sooner than I would have otherwise, for sure. And Luffy bringing up Ring of Pain. I mean, you could probably expect Monster Train and Ring of Pain are likely to make my top 10 games of 2020. Right now, we've got 2 early 2021 candidates for the top 10 list, but I am going to say that this is probably a good place to leave things off. We got a good feel for the game. We're going to venture forth a little bit more. Hopefully it saves this run. I would venture to guess that we're probably going to play a little bit more of this game on stream as well. So thank you again, Adrian, for the suggestion, and hopefully you guys out there got a good feel for the game. This has been Kyvir Rebirth. If you want to see more content like this, you can subscribe here on YouTube, and you can also go follow me over on twitch.tv/Runt9plays. We're doing all this content live on Twitch, pushing it over to YouTube, so if you want to be a part of the chat in the community, make sure you come check us out over there. And if you want even more time hanging out with the community and helping us build this great thing that we've got going on together, check out discord.runt9plays.com and join the community Discord. And you can also follow me at Twitter, at Twitter, yeah, at Runt9plays on Twitter for whatever things I happen to think of during the day. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. And until next time, I'm Runt9, and I'll see